We're going back to our roots by doing a main series challenge together here on the channel today, and we'll ease ourselves back in by doing a very good Pokemon. It's Mewtwo. Now today's video is going to be structured slightly different to any other video we've had together here on the channel. We're going to be having a live voiceover throughout most of Johto and then the end battles in Kanto. It does mean we're going to have a slightly longer video than we otherwise would have done for Mewtwo, because I'm also going to be trying to explain my thought process as we're going through the challenge. Now, I know it's going to take a little bit of getting used to not having the fully pre-recorded voiceover on these challenges, but I'm determined to give it a good, solid try. So we'll be doing this for at least a few videos, and we'll see exactly how we get on from there. I'd really love your feedback, so please do leave it in the comments down below. But now it is time to join past me as we take on the challenge with Mewtwo. So like I said in the intro, we're going to be doing something a little bit different, a little bit experimental with a voiceover in this one today. We're going to be doing a completely live voiceover for most of this challenge. We'll still have our regular Kanto chat, however the voiceover I'm doing now is live and completely unedited. From your side it does mean there's probably going to be a couple more slip-ups here and there, but after doing all of those Nuzlocke videos, I really like the idea of having a completely genuine experience when we're battling people like the gym leaders. That's also the reason why I chose Mewtwo today, because Mewtwo is a very easy Pokemon to run with. Let's not beat around the bush here. Mewtwo is incredibly overpowered, so having an overpowered Pokemon means I can get used to this new style instead of having to worry about strategy and techniques and tactics while trying to play with the Pokemon and do the live voiceover. So as always, we've battled our first encounter. It was a very easy battle this time. Now the rival this time is going to have the Totodile line. That's because Totodile can learn a dark type move via level up, therefore it has something super effective. It's two-shot with confusion to knock it out. We'll go and leave the rival and start making our way towards the Pokemon Lab, where we'll name him triple question mark, get an encounter on the way, and then we'll be on our way to Violet City. So once we've done here, we'll skip ahead and we will meet back up in Sprout Tower. So for now, let's chat with Elm, and I'll meet you all in Sprout Tower. And now here we are at the very tippy top of Sprout Tower. We've beaten up all of the sages. We've only got Elderly left to go, and this is going to be a very easy battle. And I'm always going to get Flash in my challenges. I've tried learning the Flashless route in Mount Silver, and it just doesn't work. Those of you who don't know, I'm not actually able to picture anything with my mind. It's completely blank. It's a condition called aphantasia, and it just means I'm unable to picture anything, and having that route in my head, it's just not doable for me. Sometimes you've got to accept your own limitations as a challenge runner, and as I always say, don't compare yourself to anybody else. It doesn't matter, say, if Snowy does Flashless, if somebody else like D1 does Flashless, that would not matter to me. The only thing that matters is how well I perform against myself and my own expectations, and that's something I've tried to hold with me ever since I did my first ever challenge run. But we are now at our first gym together. This is Falconer. He's a flying type specialist. He's going to lead with Pidgey, and it's going to get beaten up. It's going to be a one-shot on the Pidgey, probably a two-shot on the Pidgeotto, or we can just crit. Level 12. That is our first badge, Zephyr badge, in a very, very quick time of 5:55 with Sprout Tower. Let's leave here and head towards Azalea. Now this is going to be a fairly awkward visual cut, but I've just been thinking on the walk down to Azalea, there are certain trainers I'll always battle, because they give fairly good experience points, and Picnic Liz is one of them, especially if you're running something super effective against Nidoran. You get a lot of experience points for a very easy battle. It's the same with the camper that's just below Liz as well. So they're two trainers that I will always engage in battle by talking to them, but Liz and Roland have counterparts to each other. They're both one-shots, and look at that, even in slow experience group, a few levels higher, we still get a fair whack of EXP. Now I really do need to improve my routing through this grass here, and unfortunately we've been caught by Gordon. It's 50-50 as to whether you get caught by him if you go that route. Unfortunately I did. We do get level 13 though, and now we will go straight into Union Cave. I always do Birdkeeper Peter as well, actually. I don't know why, call it compulsion, but I feel like I get better luck if I beat up Birdkeeper Peter's Pokemon than when I don't. And again, a very easy battle here for Mewtwo. So I'll go into the cave now. We're going to pick up Swift, so we'll meet up there. So we've managed to bypass that very pesky Psychic on the way towards Swift. Unfortunately, if you're picking up Swift, you're not going to have enough Repel to get you through all of the caves, so it does mean we're now at the mercy of the RNG of wild encounters. And as we've seen already on this particular challenge, we're not getting very lucky at all. We've got to get past this Psychic as well again. 3 different angles he can get you at. But now we are out, we'll take a wild Geodude over that, and we can start heading into Azalea proper. A couple of bits we need to do in Azalea, of course. We need to chat with Kurt, we need to catch our HM friends, we need to beat up Team Rocket, and then we can, at long last, get our second gym badge. Unfortunately, we've been caught by Hiker Anthony as well. So I'll skip through this, save you the pain of it. And I'll tell you what, I'll meet you after we have got the Rockets done and we're ready to catch our HM friends. And we're doing things slightly out of sequence in this one. We're actually going to be taking on the rival, then catching the HM friends, then doing Bugsy, because the rival's got 2 poison types, so we might as well get this extra experience now. He's sending them out first because he's being very kind like that. There's going to be no issues with Croconaw. 3 shots is a little bit slow, but definitely easier than what could be up against us with Bugsy. That does also mean we're going to go straight into pausing timers catching our HM friends. Unfortunately, the timer didn't pause there quite as it should have done, so what happens in those instances, those of you who've seen my stream will know, is I know that I meant to pause it at around about 10:43 on this one. So that's 6 seconds of movement I can allow myself before we start the timer once more. So once we've caught this Psyduck, we'll reorganise them in the party, and then we will restart the timer probably when we're in the gym. We'll be quite close enough, or maybe even once we've engaged Amy and May in battle. Now this is going to be a very easy gym. I'm not going to commentate over every single battle. Instead what I'll do is I'll meet you for Bugsy. Now there are 2 schools of thought when it comes to challenge running. I'm very much of the opinion I play it safe because I get 1 chance, 1 run to do it. Other runners do multiple runs of the same Pokemon. I like the first impression. And this one, no need to worry at all. Just 4 simple hits to get ourselves the second badge. Probably overhyped that one a little bit in my own head, but Bugsy is defeated, we get our second badge. We've already beaten up the rival, so that means we can make our way towards Goldenrod City. Now you may have noticed there, I put on my Repel here, and that is to try and get my Repel steps in sync to save a little bit of time here with the menuing, while we reunite the Farfetch'd with its owner. So what I like to do is I like to have my Repel wear off just as I'm at that cut tree. Quite often it's a little bit movement depending. I did too few 2 steps there, but that now means we can teach Cut to our Paris, we can teach Flash to our Paris, we will not bother with Swift after all of that, we'll use a Repel, and now we've saved 1 menuing compared to what we could have done, and we'll do the same here with Headbutt, because we will be teaching Headbutt. We're a quick Pokemon. It's going to give us some opportunity to flinch, especially that Miltank, and we only teach it when the Repel wears off. So we'll teach it now, we don't need any of the other moves. We'll plonk on another Repel, and we're almost ready to get to Goldenrod City. There's only 1 thing we need to do before we get into Goldenrod, and that is catch ourselves an Abra. We're going to wait for these Repel steps to wear off, then we'll go in the grass, and because of the challenge run patch, we will instantly get ourselves the Abra. We'll chuck a ball at it, and it will catch first time. Right, onwards and upwards then, on to Goldenrod City. There's a lot of stuff for me to do off camera here, a lot of items to pick up, but we will almost certainly be ready for Whitney in just a matter of moments. Of course, before we take on Whitney, we do have to complete the HM friends. We'll get ourselves Kenya here. And now I'm going to do something on purpose here and battle a few extra trainers than is strictly necessary for Mewtwo to get through each individual battle. However, we're going to be spending 9,000 Pokédollars at the marts because we want one of each punch at the very, very least. So it stands to reason if we're going to be spending the cash, we've got to earn the cash. So we're going to do 3 trainers here. We'll do Kim, we'll do that spinner, and we'll do Walt. Walt in particular can be a real pain to go past multiple times. So crossing these off the list is going to help longer term. We don't want to get Juggler Irwin though, because he is an absolutely awful trainer to encounter. His lowest I think is either level 2 or 3, I can't quite remember off the top of my head. But goodness me, he is not one you want to be battling. We of course pick up Dig here that we're going to be teaching to Pryce, and the reason we teach Dig to Pryce is so that we don't have to fumble around in the bag for escape ropes. If we have Pryce in the same place in our party every single challenge, or we know that Dig is move 2 on Pryce, the muscle memory comes an awful lot easier, and it also saves a little bit of money on escape ropes. But after all that, we are finally in a place where we can get ourselves back to Goldenrod City, where we will be taking on Whitney. There's only one thing we have to do beforehand, and that's go up to the tippy-top floor of the department store, where we're going to pick up some punches. Hopefully we've got 9,000. Oh no, we've not. But we know we're never going to be using Mud Slap, and we're never going to be using Fury Cutter. So let us get an electric, a fire, and a thunder. Electric, fire, and thunder? Electric, fire, and ice, goodness me. I'm trying to think which one would be best to use against Whitney. Probably Ice Punch? Or no, Thunder Punch actually. We want to try and incapacitate for the rollout. So before we take on Whitney herself, let's get rid of some of these. We've got 2 slots available. We know we'll want Fire Punch as well for the Magnemite on Rival 3, so we're going to be teaching Fire Punch over Disable. We could have potentially used Disable strats for rollout, but Disable is not 100% accurate. I believe it is only 55% accurate. So if you think of Hypnosis and how little that lands, that's why we're not doing the Disable strats for Whitney here. It's just not reliable enough. Let's engage her in battle. Let's try and get our 3rd gym badge. This is Whitney. She is a normal type specialist and she leads with Clefairy. Perish, Song! You absolute scam artist, Whitney. No chance. Absolutely no chance. I forgot to save state there as well. That is one of the worst resets I think we have ever had here on the channel. I'm keeping all of this in as well, by the way. Let me show you what I do in these situations. I get back here, I'll unpause the timer. No reset, let's run for Mewtwo. That's part of the reason why I wanted the live voiceover. I always say it, don't I? Whitney's Clefairy is the issue. It's not the Miltank, it's the Clefairy. That's how that should have gone. There we go. Not happy about that at all, but we do get Whitney's badge. Playing badge in 1726. Goodness me. Let's move on. Let's try and make amends for the absolute nonsensory there that Whitney's Clefairy, I beg your pardon, gave me. So we'll head northwards into Ecruteak City, where hopefully happier times are waiting for us. Now, Ecruteak City is a bit of a decision point for me in my challenge runs, because this is where the run can diverge quite a little bit. There are 2 or 3 different routings you can do depending on the Pokemon you're running, and I'm trying to figure out now which I think would be the best routing for Mewtwo here. We do have the capability, wrong move there, I'm running my old controller with the dodgy up button, as I'm sure you can tell. We do have quite a few options. We can go right and get ourselves Hidden Power, but it's Hidden Power Dark and we don't really need that. We can go left and go to the Lighthouse to get some extra experience. It wastes around about 30 seconds, but that can be made up then through quicker battles back on this side and further ahead. Or we can just go straight into the rival and do the gym and do nothing else. And now I'm trying to decide which is best for Mewtwo. Normally, I'd be quite confident and say, yeah, let's just do the rival, but you've seen how our luck's been going on this one so far. There's Surf, by the way. Let's take a heal. No sense in not trying the rival, I suppose, because we're going to be super effective against Morty. The only thing is, I will go and grab the Mint Berry early. This is going to take about 15 seconds on to the runtime. which isn't the worst in the world. We'll use one of our repels. Can get through here, need to avoid her, which we don't. Twice in a row, 3 times in a row, she's obviously on the same seed. Our RNG is not going well this run. Part of the reason why I'm doing a live voiceover is so you can see the absolute disdain I have for the another spinner. The absolute disdain I have for the RNG when the spinners don't go my way. It's an active choice as well to torture myself with these spinners. I do have an option in the challenge run patch to disable spinners, they all become rotators. But it's part of the fun for me, it's part of the challenge. It's part of the luck of the day, because that's what my challenges are all about. It's all about the luck of the day. So now we've got the mint berry, we also get the nuggets. Let's now head back into our Ecruteak City, where we're going to take on the rival for a 3rd time, and hopefully that's the end of our awkward, awful luck. Let's engage them in battle, see how it goes. We've got super effective against 2, we've got Thunder Punch, super effective against another, and we have Fire Punch, super effective against the 4th. So in theory, 4 one-shots. Let's see if it works out. It's looking like it does. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Triple question mark was defeated, he hangs himself in shame, he's humiliated. We'll release the beast, and now here's a weird little time save we can do that quite often doesn't make it into the video. We're going to teach Dig now to Pryce. We'll teach Rock Smash at the same time, and that's Pryce's final learn set actually all complete now. We're going to move our Flash into top spot, Dig into second spot, and we'll dig out. That skips the cutscene with Ucine, and now we have our infinite escape rope. We've got another easy gym here. We're going to have several easy gym trainers. So we'll skip ahead to when we're about to beat up Morty. And now as we say goodbye to Medium Martha's last Ghastly, we are ready to take on Morty. We're going to give the mint berry. We're actually going to use one of these berries as well. Actually, we use the potion this time. We want to start clearing up a bit of bag space, so we'll be using potions just as and when we're in the bag. Same with the berries, so that we get a little bit more bag space free for when we pick up items later on. Morty, by the way, is our 4th gym leader. He is a ghost poison type specialist, I beg your pardon. And didn't even need the mint berry after all of that. I thought Confusion might be borderline against the Gengar, but we are very, very good. We're very strong and very powerful. 2245 for that gym. Right, that means we can head back towards Olivine City. Or should I say head towards Olivine City for the first time? There are a couple of things we need to do there. Interesting, that Gengar is weaker than a Fluffy. Who knew? I would not have guessed that. In Olivine City, of course, we are going to need to pick up strength. We'll need to have a little chat with Jazz, and then we'll surf over the ocean, and I think that's going to be our next meeting point, because we've all seen the lighthouse and strength before. And now we're out of the lighthouse, and we are ready to cross the open seas. One thing that I always do, which I don't really draw attention to, is that I teach surf and strength at the same time. That again is to save a little bit of time in the menu, and then if you put your cursor over strength, once you've defeated Chuck, got Dynamic Punch and got Fly from Chuck's wife, your cursor's always going to be over Fly, so it saves a little bit of time faffing about in the menu. This is going to be a very, very easy gym as well. We have the type advantage over every single Pokemon in there. We have ourselves Confusion, so it should be an easy one. And with all of the gym trainers beaten up, it's time for Chuck. Chuck is going to be our 5th gym leader together. He is, of course, going to be a fighting type specialist. He leads with Primeape. It's a one-shot on Primeape as we grow to level 30. Poliwrath comes out to play, probably going to use Surf. I was thinking Hypnosis there. Doesn't matter either way, very easy win. Storm Badge acquired. There's our Dynamic Punch. We're going to get Fly from Chuck's wife. And now we're going to try and do something a little bit risky. It's slightly quicker to take on Jasmine before you take on Morty and the Rockets, because it means slightly less backtracking and slightly less menuing. However, it does come with the downside of you need to be able to knock out that Steelix. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go on a little bit of item pickup, a little bit of housekeeping. I used to show these on camera all the time, and I think I'll do that one for this one as well. So we're going to get ourselves, first and foremost, That's charcoal from Azalea Town. We're then going to try and use our repels as efficiently as possible. So we're going to pick up all the rare candies that we have missed up until this point. First one here we get now because we don't have the Kanto fly menu active, so that makes it a little bit quicker than backtracking. This one here, very easy to get in Violet City. We can then continue onwards to go to Goldenrod City, where we can get ourselves a nugget and we can also get ourselves our next rare candy. That's pretty much all we can do for now though. We're going to go into the menu, we're going to give the charcoal to our Mewtwo, and then we're going to fly over to Olivine City. We'll do a heal here for PP purposes, and then it's time to climb the lighthouse and take on Jasmine. That charcoal's only going to give us a 10% boost in Generation 2, but that might be enough to cause the Steelix to get into either healing range or two-shot range, so we're not having to take on too many Iron Tails. I think the Magnemite line should be easy enough as it is. That should be a simple one-shot regardless. It's all about the Steelix and how badly it's going to beat us up. We've seen how nasty she can be in the past. So we'll have a little chat with her. We will then get her to go back to her gym, secret potion in tow. And we'll see how it goes. This is going to be already our 6th gym leader in under half an hour. This is Jasmine. She's a steel type specialist. She's also a bit of a scumbag sometimes, and she leads with Magnemite. One shot with Magnemite on Fire Punch. It's going to be another one shot with Fire Punch on the second Magnemite. We grow to level 31. How badly do we do? That's a lot of damage. She's in healing range, she's in healing loop. It's all over barring the stinging. I'm not going to sing. Instead, there is our mineral badge in 29 minutes and 20 seconds. I've now got a lot of storylines to deal with over in Mahogany Town. I'm not going to make you sit through all of those rockets. So instead, we are going to meet outside of Mahogany's gym, not Olivine's gym. We've just been there, where it's going to be time to take on Pryce. And there we are, we're out of the rocket section, we are into Pryce's gym. Just the one trainer here who might as well be a mandatory with how often we hit him. This is Border Douglas, he's going to be absolutely free because he's got no special defense. And then it'll be time to take on our 7th gym leader together. Always prefer taking on Pryce after Jasmine if we can, just because it means the movement next is going to be a lot sleeker and a lot easier. So we'll use Thunder Punch against Seal, knock it out in 1. Up next is Dugong, think it's going to be a 2-shot with anything that we have. Aurora Beam does next to nothing at all. We've only got Piloswine left to go. We'll use a Fire Punch, it's super effective, it goes down in 1. We grow to 35, and that is our Glacier Badge acquired. Glacier Badge in 35:40. Let's now leave here. And we're actually going to go to Blackthorn City right away. This is something I don't think I've made clear in my edits recently, but we actually go to Blackthorn straight after the 7th gym. And the reason for that is all about the rappel steps syncing up. So we've got a couple of bits to do in Ice Path, and then we have a few items we pick up outside of the Ice Path, and those together mean it's slightly better to do our movement here first. And one thing to note is, just like we did with Surf and Strength, we're going to teach Whirlpool and Waterfall at the same time as well. No sense in teaching one until the other because neither of them is needed right at this moment, and we can mix it up and combine it with a repel. So there we go, Psyduck's learn set is all done, and we have all our HMs, and now we can focus on just getting out of the cave, which is exactly what I'll do, and I'll meet you for the rockets. Of course, when I said I'll meet you for the rockets, what I actually meant was I'll meet you for the rival at the rockets. Here we are, here's our penultimate rival battle. He's going to lead with Golbat. Very nice and easy start for us. Sneasel's going to be second because of the dark type. We'll Fire Punch that away. And out comes Feraligatr next. We've got a Thunder Punch with Feraligator's name on, and our 165 in battle special attack takes care of it. One shot on Magnemite. Last Pokemon is going to be Haunter. Sorry, penultimate Pokemon is going to be Haunter. No, the last Pokemon, I was right. There we have it. Easy, easy rival. I've got a load more rockets to do. Nothing of interest is going to happen here. So we are going to catch up when we're ready to take on Clair. And this is now Clair. She is our final gym leader together. She is, of course, a Dragon-type specialist, and she leads with Dragonair. She's the final gym leader of Johto anyway. It's going to be 3 one-shots on the Dragonair, and we'll see what we have to do against the Kingdra. Really, it's going to be about playing it smart here against Kingdra. I reckon Thunder Punch into Ice Punch might be the play, because that should hopefully stop her healing just like that. Future Sight I like, but I don't think this is the run to be running with it. And here we go. One set of questions to answer, exactly the same as the radio card question, by the way, 11212. And with that, Claire will get out of her strop after being threatened with Lancelot with the Flyers. And that is our final badge for the Johto region in 48:52. I'm always happy with sub 1 hour Claire. I'm even happier with sub 50-minute Claire. With that, we can dig out of here and start making our way towards the league. And now there is only one obstacle between us and the Pokémon League, and that is Rival 5. This time he's going to lead with Sneasel Pleasel. That's part of the reason why we put Fire Punch back on the learn set. It's going to be a one-shot. We'll swap to Thunder Punch for the Golbat. Should go down in 1 as well. We grow to level 46, back to Fire Punch for the Magneton, and they're the hardest parts of this battle already over. We'll use a Confusion against the Haunter to guarantee it goes down in 1 shot. Ice Punch is probably just about strong enough for Kadabra. We'll use Thunder Punch on the Feraligatr, and I think we're done. There we go, Rival done in 52-12 in total. And with that, we are at the Pokémon League, so we're going to say thank you to our HM friends after healing up. So it's a big thank you to Kenya, to Abra, to Psyduck, merci to Paris, and the biggest thank you of all goes to you wonderful HM friends with the channel memberships. We'll grab our 4 full restores, and we'll take a look at our stats going into the league. Level 46 with 180 HP, holding the Scamulet coin, with Confusion, Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, and Fire Punch. 136 in attack, 116 in defense, 179 in special attack, 120 in special defense, 152 in speed. Those, of course, are the outer battle stats. We'll get a big buff in battle, as we'll see now against Will. He's our first league member. He's a psychic type specialist, much like Tuz, and he led with a Xatu. Xatu's number 1 and 2 go down straight away. We grow to 47, and here comes Jinx. We've got a Fire Punch with Jinx's name on it. She goes down in 1, and will continue Fire Punching against the Executor. He's only got Slowbro left. We're probably going to high roll or range. We range, he's going to get fully paralysed. Very easy Will battle. So that one was a time of 53:26. Next up on the chopping block is Koga. Now Koga is a poison type specialist, so try and feel sorry for him. Goodbye Ariados. Who's up next? Fortress, 4 times super effective Fire Punch for Fortress, and the third Pokemon is Muck. Muck's probably one of very few Pokemon that stands half a chance. Sludge Bomb, however, didn't poison us, so we can get through. We grow to 48, and Venomoth's also going to be a one-shot. His last Pokemon is Crobat. I reckon Ice Punch with the badge boost is the best move here, and we say goodbye to Koga in 54:05. Third up is Bruno, and it doesn't get much better for the league from here. We are just going to use a single super potion, and I can't foresee too many issues. We've got the type advantage, although Confusion isn't that strong now. So we are fighting against our Confusion's power. Strong enough to one-shot the first 2 though, so that's off to a good start. Machamp comes out third, and we critical hit it. That is the luck we weren't getting earlier, and the game seems to be repaying us now, because we get through Bruno very first try, 5 one-shots, 51:41. Let's move on to Karen. For Karen, we're going to use a HP up. That's the HP up trick. It reduces the chances of her using Sand Attack with Umbreon. Umbreon's going to be a bit of a wall here. We're not going to be able to 2-shot it, so our best option is to try and 3-shot. Unfortunately, we got Sand Attacks there, and we get a lucky critical hit. Ice Punch one-shots Murkrow, that's brilliant. We've got Houndoom next. Houndoom is a little bit scary. We're going to go to Thunder Punch. We're going to hope that we high roll. Crunch does a lot of damage, and we get a Spadef drop, but we do high roll. As long as we don't get knocked out now, or as long as we don't miss, I should say, we are absolutely fine. We've only got Vileplume left to go. Ice Punch misses. Stun Spore, we're paralysed, and we get knocked out. That single Sand Attack screwed us over. Our second reset of the challenge comes courtesy of Karen. Once again, she's used Sand Attack, and this time we're confused. I'm going to take a reset. This is what happens at Karen. You get so far through the challenge and then it all goes wrong, but then you freeze the Umbreon, you get a critical hit, and you're in with a better chance. That means we can one-shot Murkrow. We are back onto the Houndoom. Now the Houndoom's going to be a range. We've just got to hope that we don't take too much damage. If we survive, we should be good as long as we high roll. But we have not high rolled. Let's try using a different strategy here. I don't think confusion, is going to be useful between now and the end of the Pokémon League. So instead, we're going to say goodbye to it. And we're going to put Return in its place. Return's a strong physical move. It might just be the trick we need for the Houndoom. Let's start off with another Ice Punch. We've got to get some luck again. We do get the luck here in the sense that we're not Sand Attacked, but we take a lot of damage from Feint Attack. We'll continue Ice Punching against the Murkrow. Let's see if this is a 2-shot or better. If it's a 2-shot or better, we are on easy street. We're in the red, but now she's healing looping. This is fine. It looks like we're in danger. However, what we can do is we can Ice Punch this. It's probably going to go for Curse. It knocks itself out. We can Ice Punch the Vileplume. Absolutely perfect. Grow to level 50 and we say goodbye to Karen. That was tricky, but it was doable. We just had to be a little bit smart with what moves we kept. It's now time for Lance to lower the Flyers. He's our final league member, and he's going to lead with Gyarados. We, in theory, should have a very easy battle here. We've got Thunder Punch, we've got Ice Punch. It's a one-shot with Thunder Punch on the Gyarados. It's a one-shot with Ice Punch on Dragonite number 1. That means it's going to be a one-shot with Dragonite number 2 as well. Third up is Aerodactyl. We'll continue using Ice Punch. He's going to send out his Charizard next. We'll have to swap to Thunder Punch for that. And once again, it's a one-shot. That's the last threat of the battle gone because we'll Ice Punch the final Dragonite. And we will defeat Lance in a time of 57 minutes and 53 seconds. With that, we're about to get our final Hall of Fame time. And our final Hall of Fame time is 58 minutes and 9 seconds. It's very rare that we get a sub 1 hour Hall of Fame time, but MEWTWO has joined a very, very exclusive club. Because that means at the midpoint of this challenge, MEWTWO is currently in 6th place on the leaderboard, in between Lapras and Pidgeot. But there's still everything to play for. There's another 8 gym badges plus the red fight left to come, so don't you dare go anywhere. Kanto is next. And we rejoin the action here in Vermilion City, where the first thing we do in Kanto is the last thing we do in Johto. We're going to get ourselves another rare candy, this time from the chairman of the Pokemon fan club. And honestly, I think this one might be a little bit surplus to requirements, but I thought it was worth getting just in case. When it comes to rare candies, sometimes it's better off picking up a couple in case you are a couple of levels too low. Especially, of course, if you are in the slow experience group. Now, it'll come as no surprise to you that I am very pleased to announce that MEWTWO is more than capable of taking on our standard Cantonian routing. So we'll start here at Lieutenant Surge, we'll make our way over to Erica, we'll go down to Janine, then back across to Sabrina, up to Misty, over to Brock, then down to Blaine and finish off with Blue. Talking of the Blue fight, if you want to rejoin the live voiceover, it's going to be happening at around about 35 minutes 44 seconds. For everybody else though, let's now sit back, relax and have a Cantonian chat. And now the first thing I'm going to talk about in this Kanto chat is the new video style we've got going on. I've wanted to experiment with live voiceovers for quite some time in the challenge runs, and having that extended break forced upon me due to ill health, it seemed like the right time to at least give it a go for a few videos. And it was playing the Nuzlocke and doing the live voiceovers that made me really want to attempt to do it for the challenge runs, because there is nothing more fun than seeing somebody's genuine live first reaction to the game screwing you over, or even better, you getting one up over the game. I think that is part of the big satisfaction of doing challenge runs for me. So being able to get those live reactions in place while still threading a coherent story, I think we get the best of both worlds. There's still going to be the Kanto chat, we're still going to race through the Cantonian gym leaders, but with the live voiceovers as well, it means I can be a little bit more relaxed with my editing style. Because to put it bluntly, seeing a 40-minute video that I've then got going to record a voiceover for is incredibly intimidating. It's 40 minutes of unscripted content that's going to come fresh from my brain, and that really is a difficult thing to do week in, week out. Whereas if I'm just talking and showing you the thought process as I'm going, A, I'm not going to forget anything in the voiceover, and B, it's going to be a lot easier for me to produce the videos. Because to put the cards on the table, I have a binary choice when it comes to creating the Johto videos. I either do the really quick rapid fire edits, where we miss a lot of the stuff that made the channel what it was, or I do all the voiceover bits that I would have done in the longer edits while I'm playing the challenge. It does mean the messy visuals every so often as we transition from bit to bit if I over talk, but I think it's going to be a very nice happy middle ground. Please, please, please do give me your feedback though. I know there are a few things I need to work on when it comes to my live voiceovers. I need to stop saying I'll meet you wherever we're coming up next. I need to stop saying now what we're going to do is this. And I just need to try and find my rhythm, because this is something brand new to me. I do the streams, but on the streams you're focusing on just keeping one stream of consciousness going. This is very different. It's a big learning curve, but I am having so much fun trying to figure out how to mix the hybrid of pre-recorded voiceovers like this bit and the bit you're about to rejoin as we rejoin Blue. So here we are now at Blue. He is our final gym leader of the challenge. Gonna make a very quick change to the learn set. I think Fire Punch has lasted its time now. It's finally time to teach Psychic in its place. Fire Punch a little bit surplus to requirements, so let's see how we get on. Now, the reason I've not taught Psychic up until now is because apart from that Blame battle, there really wasn't anything where we would have benefited from it, so it just made sense to keep the other moves on the learn set. They were a little bit more versatile, definitely did what we needed them to do. Now, I am not expecting any issues at all here at Blue. He's a fairly simple leader for us today. We've got enough coverage and enough strength behind our moves that it should just be as simple as 6 one-shots, apart from maybe this last Pokemon here. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to start off with an Ice Punch, because then hopefully Psychic will drop it down in 1, so we avoid the healing loop, save a little bit of time. 1 hour 12 minutes on the nose for all of our badges. That means we are now in what I like to call go mode. There's only one more thing left for us to do, and that is go and battle Red at Mount Silver. It's all come up to this, it's all accumulated to this. We've got one more rare candy we're going to pick up, because we didn't really, get that many levels. We're only level 58 going into Red, and that is not very high when you consider Red's levels. That ledge, hardest ledge in the game, especially when you're running on a backup controller like I am today. I will show you my trick for getting this rare candy. I don't show it on camera very often, but you dip in the Pokemon Center there, and then you teleport back out. And you also use a super repel on this little stretch, because now I can max repel and teleport all in 1. And with that, we're entering into Mount Silver. I think I'm going to try live commentary throughout all of these Red battles for this one, because I genuinely don't see it taking too long at all. So we're going to show every single battle from now until when we defeat a Red. Let us, before we do though, there is something I forgot to do. Ever the indecisive person me. There's a reason we've been holding that Scamulet coin the entire time. We need to go into the underground quick, sharp and in a hurry. We are going to get ourselves Bolt Beam. For that, we need to get the coin case, and then we need to change the day. This is going to lose a teeny tiny bit of time, but I do think it's going to be worth it long term. Let's change that day to Saturday, please. We'll have it in the morning, have the nice bright yellow palette. We'll have a little chat with him after we buy our 8,000 coins. So this is going to be a very tricky bit of movement for me on this dodgy controller. Never any good at buying coins, but got it first try. This should only take a half a minute to a minute or so. We want to get Thunderbolt and Ice Beam. Give us the best chance of getting through. Now, unfortunately, he can only teach 1 a day, but then we will be able to go and battle Red. I promise. I'm not stalling for time. Let's make it Wednesday. Actually, let's make it Saturday again now. That might be a little quicker than trying to navigate to Wednesday. He's back. So we'll get Ice Beam this time, and then we will battle a red. Apologies for that slight brain fart. I completely forgot that was what I was doing here. Max Repel on, teleports back. We are definitely now in go mode once we get to Silver Cave. That only loses a couple of minutes. It's not going to affect our final placement either because we needed those moves in order to do well at red. Just nature of the beast. Sometimes you need to waste a little bit of time getting those tutor moves. Let's now use one of our full restores, make sure we are in tippy top health. We will move our rare candies up to the top spot. And now this is red. Let's see how we get on. Psychic is a one-shot on Pikachu, that's a very good start. And now Espeon could be a little bit pesky on, you know. Let's try Thunderbolt, we crit. Reflect is what I was worried about there. We grow to level 59, here comes Snorlax. Snorlax is going to be the issue. Amnesia plus Reflect, but we have frozen it. That is really good. That is a crit. The Reflect has faded. We're through the Snorlax double crit. Zard is next. Zard might hit us fairly hard, but we're going to use a Thunderbolt and we paralyze it. Flamethrower hits us. We don't get the burn. We've knocked it out. Up next is Blastoise. Blastoise likes use Rain Dance. He's used Surf this time, though. That's absolutely fine. We get it out of here. We've just got Venusaur left to go. Venusaur likes using its two-turn moves. Let's see what he does this time. He takes in Sunlight, and it is all over for red. 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 2 seconds. And that is the exact reason why we spent that extra time and money getting those moves. It really did save our bacon at the end then. 1 hour, 16 minutes and 2 seconds is a very, very strong time for Mewtwo. Let's see where that puts us on the leaderboard. We are in 5th place, just below our Girafarig, comfortably ahead of Scyther, and I think that is a very good place for Mewtwo. And that does, of course, mean we have a brand new leader at the tippy top of page 2. Lugia has finally been pushed down onto page 2. That shuffles everyone on a longer space, so we now have Xatu in last place on page 2. We've got Noctowl in 51st place. Victory Bell is in the page 3 drop zone. We have Wigglytuff at the very tippy top of page 4. And spare a thought for the gruesome twosome, Shuckle and Macago, all the way down in last spots. But with that, we are done. So really hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, make sure to leave a like. If you've got any feedback, leave it in the comments down below. Subscribe if you want to see more challenge runs just like this. And until next time, I'll say thank you all so much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I'll see you all very, very soon.